Hi, I'm Rachel Sarala. I'm the Area Wildlife Manager for Colorado Parks and Wildlife for Area 18, based out of Montrose. This is Alyssa Kircher. She's the terrestrial biologist for this area. Today we will discuss the Deer Herd Management Plan for Data Analysis Unit, or DAU, D-23.
DAU D-23, the Sal Deer Herd, consists of Game Management Unit, or GMU 60, along the Utah state line and includes parts of Montrose and Mesa counties, and is 238 square miles. The land ownership in this unit consists of 65% Bureau of Land Management, 18% U.S. Forest Service, and 18% privately owned land. D-23 is unique in that this population fluctuates annually because of climatic conditions rather than by hunter harvest, like most herds.
Historic DAU D-23 population estimates have fluctuated based on winter conditions. The last few years, 2020 to 2022, we have been on an increasing trend in this population. The 2022 population was estimated at 1,500 deer. The previous population objective, which was set in 2008, was 2,500 to 3,000 deer. In response to outreach and surveys in 2022 and 2023, CPW staff and public stakeholders stated a desired slight increase in deer populations in this herd. CPW proposes a new objective range of 1,500 to 1,800 deer to capture the estimated population number and to better reflect the current herd dynamics and recent population trend. Since D-23 has a population that is more greatly impacted by climatic conditions than by hunter harvest, like most herds are, limited effort has been invested to monitor this population, which makes finer scale herd management difficult. The population has only been classified by helicopter for age and sex ratios 4 times since 1980. Unit 60 was last classified in 2021, but CPW did not observe enough deer to use the estimates in the population model. The population model uses estimated survival rates and post-hunt observed age and sex ratios from the adjacent DAU, which is D-19 on the Uncompahgre Plateau. Observations of herd status from the local district wildlife manager, local residents, and hunters are evaluated to monitor observed trends and anecdotal verification of the modeled estimates and trends for the population.
The 5-year average observed post-hunt buck ratio in D-19 is 32 bucks per 100 does, and the 5-year average modeled post-hunt buck ratio for D-23 is 32 bucks per 100 does. The 3 dots represent the 3 times that we have gotten adequate buck-doe ratios from helicopter classification flights. The buck ratio objective CPW prefers for the 2023 plan is to keep objective range status quo, 25 to 30 bucks per 100 does, to the approved plan from the Parks and Wildlife Commission in 2008. The public would like a higher buck to doe ratio, but with CWD or chronic wasting disease prevalence estimated at 21%, CPW must manage for this growing threat to manage mule deer populations. This ratio would balance hunting opportunity and CWD management flexibility. D-19 classification estimates are used in the model as well for fawn to doe ratios because it is surveyed more consistently than D-23. The 3 dots represent the 3 times that we have gotten adequate fawn to doe ratios from the helicopter classification flights. The 5-year averaged post-hunt fawn doe ratios in D-19 averaged 54 fawns per 100 does. Fawn to doe ratios in D-19 have been increasing slightly since 2016. In 2022, there was a slight drop from 60 fawns per 100 does to 57 fawns per 100 does. Since D-23 has a population that is more greatly impacted by climatic conditions than hunter harvest, limited effort has been invested to monitor this population, which makes herd management difficult. Annual snow levels determine the population size in Colorado and Utah, meaning poor forage conditions in Colorado impact local deer populations as well as interstate populations. Although claims for deer damage in D23 are not excessive, complaints from landowners about crop damage do occur, in particular in the Paradox Valley where deer are utilizing alfalfa fields. Damage to corn is expected in the future as residential deer populations are increasing in Gateway. There is limited demand for private land or PLO licenses, impeding CPW's ability to manage game damage through harvest. One of the most important issues affecting D23 is chronic wasting disease, or CWD. Prevalence is high, but this is based on a very small sample size. The majority of CWD prevalence is in the agricultural areas around Paradox. Prevalence is also high across the Utah state line as well, making it difficult to control the spread of the disease with constant movement across state lines. In an attempt to mitigate the issues, CPW has increased buck licenses to decrease CWD spread, since adult male deer are more likely to contract CWD. Proactive CWD management will be a crucial part of the D23 herd management plan. CPW plans to increase this deer population slightly above the current population estimates to balance stakeholder and CPW staff desires for an increased population, but also stabilize CWD spread. Since CWD is concentrated in Paradox, increasing the population slightly should not change the overall CWD prevalence dramatically. Utah also plans to increase their bordering herd in Unit 13. CPW would like to maintain the buck ratio as status quo to the previous 2008 objective range, despite stakeholders' desire for more mature bucks on the landscape. Unfortunately, mature bucks tend to have a greater probability of carrying CWD. Therefore, managing for more mature bucks would be counterproductive to CPW's CWD management strategies. The status quo objective range of 25 to 30 bucks per 100 does allows for a balance of opportunity for hunters while simultaneously allowing CPW to keep CWD prevalence in check.
CPW plans to increase this herd to meet staff and stakeholder desires. To address management concerns, CPW will work with federal partners, landowners, and non-governmental organizations to help improve land management. These groups can help with large-scale habitat management projects and regulate recreation on public lands, which could improve range conditions for deer. The last several years have been managed proactively to limit CWD spread by increasing buck licenses, and staff sees this as an important strategy to continue into the future. CPW will also adjust limited licenses as necessary to keep within the proposed objectives and limit game damage.
This is a summary of the public outreach that has occurred so far. Hunters were randomly selected to complete the 2022 Deer Hunter Attitude Survey after the completion of their hunting seasons. There were 75 to 87 respondents, depending on the question, that answered the opt-in questions for D23. Overall, hunters wanted to see a slight to moderate increase in deer populations and were generally satisfied with their hunting experience. Hunters also preferred hunting bigger bucks, aka a higher buck ratio, to hunting more often, a lower buck ratio. The majority of respondents also did not feel crowded while deer hunting. The draft herd management plan for D23 will also be sent to local county commissioners in Montrose and Mesa counties. The draft plan will also be sent to the Uncompahgre Habitat Partnership Program Committee, the U.S. Forest Service, the BLM, and the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. CPW will also meet with Utah's Division of Wildlife Resources to discuss future management between both states. The herd management plan will be posted on the CPW website for 30 days, allowing stakeholders like you to comment on the alternatives of this plan.
Thank you so much for your time and for watching our presentation. If you have comments or feedback on the proposed alternatives or the plan, please follow the link on our website to comment on this plan.